It didn't count. Good morning. I'm having Wi-Fi issues, so I came here early just to make sure that my connection is okay. We have Wi-Fi here at the house, and then we have Wi-Fi at the education center, and my computer keeps wanting to connect to the Wi-Fi at the education center, and it's giving me no bars. So I want to make sure before I go live that my Wi-Fi is working correctly. So I thought I would come here a little early. So it's okay, Mary? My eyes are blurry. My hair, y'all, I went and got my hair done yesterday. I just got it cut, like trimmed. And when she blew my hair out, my hair was down to here. I said, my hair is so curly. Like it looks like my hair shoulder length, right? No, look, my hair was down to here. I told her, I was like, this weather has my hair so it's like up to my ears. I know some people say, oh, you're so lucky to have naturally curly hair. And I would rather have curly hair than flat hair. But I mean, she blew my hair out yesterday. And and I didn't wash it last night. And this is it's like ringlets. I told her, I said, I don't like having short hair. So that's why I end up wearing extensions, is because my hair is I like little orphan Annie is like so short. One day I'll blow my hair out right before I go live and show y'all how long it is. But the second I walk outside to the humidity and the heat, it goes, it's like awful. This weekend, while we're waiting till 7 o'clock, Friday is my son's gender reveal party. And I can't decide if I should wear pink or if I should wear blue. I feel like I need a combination. I mean, I would love to have a granddaughter. But my son really would like a boy. So, I mean, I know I can't jinx it because the sex has already been determined, right? But I bought this dress. I'll show y'all what I bought. Hang on. Okay. I have this, but I don't like this because the bows are not pretty. Like the bows are supposed to be like this, but see how they just flop over? So I don't really like this dress. And then I have this dress, this blue dress. It's just plain, and it ties in the back like this. So I really want to wear a pink dress, but I don't like how those bows when I got, maybe if I iron it, starch it, maybe they would lay pretty, but they just, see, they don't, like they're supposed to be like that, and they're ugly. I don't know if they're just too heavy, but I wonder if like you said, Mary, if I starch them. Do you know how long it's been since I ironed something? I haven't ironed since I left the career work. What? Since I left the work field, I have not ironed anything. But I don't have time to take it to the cleaners because well, I might. No, I probably don't. Oh, let me show you my shoes. I have really bad feet. I have plantar fasciitis, so these shoes and I do not get along. But aren't they cute? I got them from Shein for like $5. I thought they were so cute. And they're so cute on. But they were, I don't know, they were like $5 or $8. But this flat shoe, I'm going to be crying the next morning because, anyway, that's the plan. I don't know if it depends on if I starch it. It depends on, how is it, where Chris is getting fired. I mean, the dude cannot go on vacation for Monday and Wednesday. I thought he was going to be here today, but obviously I was wrong. So I guess he's still partying it up. Did y'all see he got put in jail? I've never laughed so hard in my life. Let me show you. I don't know if y'all saw it I put it on Facebook and YouTube, but he sent me this picture. I asked him, I said, do I need to send you some bail money before you leave for vacation? But he sent me, why is it not? He sent me this picture of him in jail. It's like, oh my gosh. But I thought he was going to be here today, but obviously not. Obviously not. I'm going to stick my hair up because it's hot as fire outside. And I can't deal with this mess. I cannot deal with this mess. It's just awful. Is it 7:00? Yes. Okay. Oh, dang. I got to go find the message. Hang on. Okay, hang on. I need to read y'all the message. I got a message from a backup dancer. And when I got to go find it. When I first got the message, I felt slapped in the face. But it came from a backup dancer that loves me. And sometimes when backup dancers send me messages that, here it is. Sometimes when backup dancers send me a message that they're scared to tell me something, I feel so worried because I want y'all to be comfortable. Like, you're not texting me to be ugly. I know who you are. You mean well in your text messages to me. Like, for example, when my cow was panting really heavy, one of the backup dancers was scared to tell me, Judy, I'm scared to tell you this. Don't get mad at me. And she started telling me, you've got to do something about the cow. And I was like, I'm not mad at you. Like, you don't, like, I'm not mad when people do that to me. I'm not. So, like, I want you as backup dancers to feel comfortable messaging me. But this backup dancer that sent me this message, she sent this because she loves me. Okay? I'm not going to say her name. Hey, Judy, just a FYI talking about cuss words. I've noticed that you're saying friggin' more and more. Please don't say that in front of the kids because they know what that means. It's the same as dropping the F-bomb. They will just giggle, but I'm sure the parents won't. Sorry, I thought you might need to know. Love ya. And I got that message, and it was a slap in the face. I sat there and like just stared in space for like 30 minutes. And I was like, okay, I need to break this down because I'm having a moment. I'm having a moment. I know this lady loves me because she told me she loved me. What is going on? So I'm going to start the conversation from there. Now, please keep in mind, if you're listening to this live and you listen to that and you listen to the beginning of the story, you're going to think that I'm judgmental. You're going to think that I'm talking bad about someone. You're going to think that you're going to judge me. So this particular lives that you watch at 7 a.m. is not a live that you listen here and there. When I'm talking about mental health and I'm talking about where I got to where I am today, you cannot listen to the beginning of the program and judge me. You have to listen from the start to the end. So if you're just now tuning into my live and you've not listened to the beginning of it and you're not listening, if you don't have time to listen to the whole thing, I ask that you stop and I ask that you start this back when I have your full attention, because this message is not a pop in, pop out kind of message. With that being said, I'm going to begin. Okay, my eyes are so blurry this morning. I'm going to say probably about 6 weeks ago. First of all, Shane and I are a blended family, okay? When I first met Shane, he already had a grandson, okay? Eli, that comes to my house. When I met Eli, he was a baby. He was born in September, and Shane and I started dating in January. So I did not meet him I'm going to say he was 6 months old when I met Eli for the first time. So he was in a pumpkin seat, little he couldn't even sit up when I met Eli for the first time. My children didn't have any kids. Since then, Eli was our only grandson for a long time. I mean, Eli will be 11 years old in September. So Shane has 2 children, Shelby and Jacob. Shelby is 30. Jacob is 20. I think they're 28. I think he's 28. Shelby's 30. My kids, Vanson is 27 and Corbin is 28. As a matter of fact, Corbin and Jacob are only a month apart. So Shelby is the oldest. So Eli is from Shelby. Well, forever, it was just Eli. And I can remember Shane and I got married in 2017. So Eli was just like 2 years old. And for the longest time, he called me Judy. And I was struggling. I didn't want to be Judy. I did not want to be Judy. I wanted to be his grandmother. And At the time, he was so attached to Shelby that he wouldn't stay with us. Um, it wasn't until, honestly, if I was truthful, if I was a truthful person, okay, I really started getting animals for Eli because I longed for this relationship with Eli. I wanted to be a grandmother. I didn't want to be Judy. You know what I'm saying? And so when I started getting animals, let's see, we moved here in 2019. So Eli was like 4 years old. So when I started getting animals, I'm going to say when I started getting enough animals where he cared, he was like 5 years old. And I can remember he was calling me Judy. And it was making me mad at the family. I was like getting frustrated at Shelby. I was frustrated at Shane because they called me Judy. I'm like, I don't want to be Judy. I want to be his grandmother, but when you're a blended family, it was uncomfortable for Shelby to call me something other than Judy, because she's my stepdaughter. She's not known me her whole life. So everyone said, go tell Judy goodbye. And I would be like, I don't want to be Judy. And so I kept begging Eli to come stay with us, and he would not stay with us. He wouldn't. Then finally, when I became the fun grandmother and got animals, he stayed with me. And Eli, Shane works full time. So it was me keeping Eli. So me and Eli started to bond because it was me around him all the time. And when Shane would come home, he would want to be with me and not Shane. And so I set Eli down because he was old enough to understand. And he was like 5 or 6 years old. And I said, Eli, I want to be your Juju. And for the longest time, he had a hard time calling me Juju. He would call me Judy because everybody around him called me Judy. And I kept correcting Eli. Like he'd go, Judy, my name's not Judy. I'm not answering to Judy. It's like, I'm not answering to Judy. That's not my name. I mean, Juju. I was correcting him. I was like, I'm not your Judy. I'm your Juju. And it took him a minute. But then when I kept calling myself Juju in front of Shelby and Shane and everybody else, it finally stuck. And then Shelby would say, go tell Juju goodbye. And Shane would say, go tell your Juju, finally it started sticking. But it took me making effort because if it wasn't for me, he would call me Judy to this day. But I didn't want to be Judy. I wanted to be his Juju. I didn't want to treat him any differently. I didn't want to be treated differently just because, I wasn't his blood grandmother. I didn't want that. So Eli and I bonded. Eli is in my children's book. When Eli comes to stay with us, he usually stays like a week at a time. And he's learned to do farm chores. He helps me with tours. He helped me with the library this year. I'm very attached to Eli. I love that kid with all my heart. And I know if you're a grandparent, you get me. But listen, that kid could do no wrong. Eli is very calm. He's very respectful. He has manners. He's he is such a good kid. I mean, he doesn't lie. He doesn't cause problems. He's easygoing. Uh, he's just a good kid. So when it came to Eli, Shane has a filthy mouth. It drives me ballistic. It drives me absolutely ballistic because he says bad words in front of Eli. And I've said things to, I'm like, please, please, dear Jesus, do not have a bad mouth in front of our grandkids. But Shane thinks nothing of that because Shane had an ugly mouth in front of his own children. He just, it's just a word to him. And I don't understand it. I mean, my kids were raised where shut up was a bad word in our house. Like, we don't say that. We don't do that. We don't say bad words. We don't, we just don't. I don't put up with it. And when Shane says a bad word in front of Eli, I've learned to, I literally in front of Shane, I'll turn around in the car and I say, Eli, what your, he calls Shane G Daddy, okay? That's another story. But he calls Shane G Daddy. I'm like, Eli, do not say what your G Daddy says. Do not have a filthy mouth. I correct him in front of Eli. It drives me ballistic. Okay? I cannot stand it. And when other family members say bad words in front of him, I can't say anything because, like with Shane, I can rip him a new one, right? But when other family members say bad words in front of Eli, it's none of my business, right? I can't say anything. When, even though you try not to treat your kids or your, like, let's just say my stepkids versus my real kids, okay? I can say things to my real kids. I could not say a daggum word to my stepkids. They're not my kids. If I was to correct, I would become the wicked stepmother. Okay? So I have to sit and shut up. Okay? But when it comes to my children, I'll rip them a new one. Okay? I will become Mama Bear. But I'm learning through Al Anon, through my program. You know, I told you guys, Al Anon is a program for family members that have alcoholism or drug addiction. I have been in this program for many years, okay? And I'm learning that it's none of my business, okay? And I don't understand it because when it comes to, like I just said, the comment, when it comes to my stepkids, I can't say anything. But when it comes to my kids, oh, I'm ripping them a new one. But I'm learning that I've already done my parenting. My kids are adults. They know right from wrong. But it's none of my business what my older kids do. I'm having a hard time with that. I truly am having a hard time with that because as a parent, a lot of times we're like, oh, I will parent till the day I die. I will come in and like a freaking freight train with a wing on, and I will rip my kids a new one if they do X. Like, even to this day, if my grown children, because my kids have, I mean, I don't know about my younger son. I'm sure he has a filthy mouth, but he won't say bad words in front of me because he knows I will rip him a new one. My oldest son slips up all the time. Okay. He will slip up and he will say a bad word. And I'm like, Corbin, I'm sorry, mom. I'm sorry. Or he'll be in the middle of talking and a bad word's gonna start coming out, and then he catches himself like, oh gosh, I'm fixing to say a bad word in front of mom. And he stops himself and he'll apologize, or sometimes it depends on the moment. He'll just keep saying them. And I'm going, Corbin, Corbin, Corbin. But I'm learning I don't like that it's none of my business. But I'm going to tell you that when you try to parent your adult children, you're not fun to be around. When you're correcting how they spend their money or what word comes out of their mouth or how they're, I don't know, they withdraw from you. And I've learned that my parenting is over now. It's time for me to sit back and enjoy my life, my grandkids' life, my children's life. And even though I don't agree with everything that they do, I have to sit down and shut up. I am not good at shutting my mouth. I'm not. Okay? I'm just not. Well, as time has gone on, Shane's son, I can't remember when it was, he called me on the phone and he said, because he FaceTimed me, and I thought, oh, why is Jacob FaceTiming me? And so he goes, where's Dad? And I was like, he's right here. He goes, I need both of y'all to get on FaceTime. And I was like, what is he about to what's he about to tell us? You know? And he lives in Texas. Okay. So we get on the phone and he tells us he's going to be a daddy. We were like, oh my God. Oh my gosh, you're going to have another grandbaby. And so they are due in August. They are having a little girl. Well, in May, okay, my son's girlfriend, my son and his girlfriend, they have, their birthdays are very close together. And so we went, her family wanted to have Corbin and Raquel a birthday party. And they invited us. Okay. Where was Shane? I guess Shane was working. I don't know where Shane was, but I went to the party by myself. And they're engaged, and I came up with this idea. I was like, why don't we do a birthday party, but then give them a special gift for being engaged, like an engagement thing, and kind of surprise them. So this party was at Raquel's family, and Raquel said, Judy, because they were fixing to open presents. And I thought in my head, wow, they're having a birthday party with presents and everything. Wow, that's, because, they're 28 years old. And I thought, that's kind of cool that her family wants to have a birthday party. with presents and stuff. So she asked me to film. I'm up there filming, right? And I'm a YouTuber, so I'm doing a good video. I'm doing stuff that I can overlay and doing close-ups and I'm when it comes to filming, that's up my alley. Like I love editing a video and I love filming. Otherwise, I wouldn't be a YouTuber, right? And as time goes on, I don't know if y'all are noticing, but I'm getting a little bit better at filming and overlaying and adding my voice and adding music. It's like I'm becoming a professional. I think I am. It's like my videos are getting better over time, but I've been doing them for like 2 years and 3 months. I've been editing videos. It takes time to learn how to do that crap. Okay. I was thrown into it. Okay. It was just like one day Jason and Brooke come to my farm, and next thing I know, I'm having to edit videos. I had never used iMovie, or I didn't even have a computer. Okay. That's how I was just thrown into it. So over the past 2 years, I mean, I'm not an expert, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm learning how to adjust the sound and the volume, and like it's getting there. Okay. So she asked me to film. I start filming, right? And I'm doing a good job, or trying to, whatever. And they start opening presents, and they were getting really cute stuff. They were getting a lot of stuff for the house. And anyway, and I'm filming, and she gets to, I don't know, like the fifth present, and she opens it up. She opens the bag up, and her sister is pregnant. Okay. So her sister is in the back, like standing behind her. And she opens up this gift, and she opens up the ultrasound pictures. I'm filming, right? I'm the one filming. It's not registering in my head. I thought she was holding the ultrasound pictures up because I thought her sister was telling the family if it was a boy or a girl. I'm filming this. I'm not thinking anything of anything. Okay? Then all of a sudden, I see my son crying. And I was like, why is he crying? And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Are they pregnant? And then I look at my son. I'm like, am I going to be a grandmother? And he was like, and everybody's crying, and I'm over there just like dumbfounded with my video camera going, what? Wait, I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting this. I'm at a birthday party. So I have every bit of it on camera, and I'm listening to myself talk, and I'm sort of kind of like in shock. So Shane and I were, okay, let me back up. Shelby ended up having another baby. She has another little boy. He's 1 year old. So we have Eli that's 11 in September. We have Elliot that he just turned a year old. Then we have Jacob's baby that's coming in August. That's going to be a little girl. And now we have my son having a baby that's due in December. So I looked at Shane. I was like, these son of a guns are popping out like popcorn. Wait, like at first when you have one grandkid, you're like, oh, let's start a savings account for them. Let's start a college fund, like, because you just have one kid. And you're like, oh, let's, oh my gosh, you put your grandkid up on a pedestal. Oh, because my Jeep, I told Eli, I said, when you turn 16, you're getting my Jeep. You're getting my Jeep. And he's like, because he loves my Jeep, my white Jeep that I just sold. I'm like, you're getting my Jeep when you turn 16, because when you have just one grandkid, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm starting a college fund. I'm starting a savings account. I'm giving him my car, and then they start popping out like popcorn, and you're like, oh my God, I got 5 kids. Oh, grandkids. I can't buy them all a car. So like things start changing when more grandkids come into the picture. You know, you have good intentions, but then when they start popping out like popcorn, you're like, wait, I can't keep up. You know? So as I have a grandson by my son, this is the first grandson by my kids, right? Or grandkid. I said grandson. I don't tomorrow Friday is the ginger reveal party, which I announced I was going to wear pink or blue. So on Friday, I find out, you know, if I'm going to be a grandmother to a little boy or grandmother to a little girl. So we have 2 grandsons with Shelby, a granddaughter with Jacob, and now we'll find out what we're having with Corbin. So as I get a grandson with my kids, it's like Mama Bear starting to come out. This ain't my kid though, right? But it's almost like when your kids, when your actual kids have kids, I don't know, like Mama Bear's coming out. And we had Eli last week. And as Shane had a filthy mouth, I thought, you ain't cussing around Corbin's kid. I'm here to tell you right now, Joker, you are not. Like, it's like Mama Bear is coming out in me. And I didn't say anything to Shane, but once again, when he would say a bad word, I turn around to Eli, go, Eli, do not have a filthy mouth, okay? It's not polite. It's not good to say bad words. And I even sometimes, I won't say it in front of Shane. I'll pull Eli off to the side and I'll say, it's not good to say bad words or something. I say something like that. Okay. I want Eli to understand that having a filthy mouth is not professional. It's not good. You know, I just don't want him to say that. So as Mama Bear is starting to come out because Corbin's fixing to have a kid, I thought, oh no, I hope Corbin doesn't have a filthy mouth around this kid. And I hope that Shane, I will punch Shane out. He is not having a filthy mouth in front of my grandkid. I can't say anything about Eli. Like, I can't say a word but when it comes to my own children, oh, Mama Bear will come out and you will not do that in front of my grandkid. I can't say anything about Eli because Shelby's not my kid. Jacob is not my kid. I can't correct Jacob and Shelby because if I do, who do you think you are? You ain't my mama. You know, blended family can be difficult. So I have to sit down and shut up when it comes to them. But when it comes to Corbin's kid, I am not having the grandkid at 2 years old learning to talk, saying a cuss word, and everybody think it's funny. Like, you know how you're scrolling through YouTube and watching reels or shorts on Facebook or whatever, and you see these people that think it's funny that their kids are saying a bad word? That crap ain't funny to me. Okay, it's not funny to me. It's disrespectful and it's not good. That is my opinion. So, Mama Bear's coming out. And I use prayer as a powerful tool. Okay. So, I've been praying because if I go to Shane and say, Shane, listen, You need to come up with better words than the words you use. You have the trashiest mouth in the world. You throw the F bomb around like there's nobody's business, and it's disrespectful to everyone around you. If I was to sit him down and say that, he's going to look at me and go, well, who made you king god? Like, what the heck? He would say that. I mean, and first of all, when you have a habit that you've done your whole life, it's hard to correct. Like, let's say smoking. You've smoked your whole life, and your spouse sits you down and said, I'm tired of smelling secondhand smoke. You need to give up those cigarettes. Well, that's easier said than done, Joker. I've been smoking since I was 14. If I could quit, don't you think I'd have quit long ago? It's easy for someone to tell you to quit a habit. It's just like if Shane sat me down and said, Judy, I am so sick of you going from skinny to fat. Get your crap straight, Judy. You are a bad example to these grandchildren when you're in here gorging yourself with cookies and then you're not eating at all. Like, and I would be like, easier said than Joker. I've had this my whole life, and if I could fix it, I'd have fixed it a long time ago. I try. I work at it every day, and I can't win. I tried. I've gone to counseling. I've been inpatient. I freaking take medication. It ain't clicking. I can't. I don't know what to tell you. So I believe in the power of prayer. Well, ever since I found out Corbin was going to have a kid, I've been praying over Shane's pillow. Okay. I'm like, okay, I am well enough to know that the only person I can change is myself. I preach it all the time. I can't change my son. I can't change Shane. I can't change anybody but myself. Okay. So when something drives you absolutely crazy and you know you can't fix it, well, I believe in God, and I know that God says come to him with prayer. So I've been praying that God would convict Shane of his ugly mouth, because he needs to correct this before December the 20th. I have a deadline. This grandbaby will be here December the 20th. And I've begun to pray for this kid. So I've been praying every day. Dear Heavenly Father, please convict Shane of his filthy mouth. God, I know it's not in your will for him to have a filthy mouth in front of these grandkids. I can't fix him, although I wished I could. I wished I could throw a bar of soap right into that mouth and wash his mouth out. But unfortunately, if I stick soap in his mouth, he will probably punch me in the face or kick me out or whatever. And I do love him, but he has a filthy mouth. Will you please, please, please convict him of his filthy mouth before December the 20th? I don't know how you need to do it. I don't know if you need to physically put the bar of soap in his mouth, but please convict him of his filthy mouth. Dear Heavenly Father, I know it's not in your will for my 2-year-old grandson to be going to daycare with a filthy mouth. So please convict everyone that is around this kid not to say anything filthy. And then I get the message. I get the message. Wait, where's it at? Where's it at? There it is. Hey, Judy. And she has no idea what's going on in my life, right? She has no clue. Hey, Judy. Just a FYI talking about curse words. I noticed that you're saying friggin' more and more. Please don't say that in front of the kids because they know what that means. It's the same as dropping the F-bomb. They will just giggle, but I'm sure the parents won't. Sorry, I thought you might need to know this. Love you. I sat there for like 30 minutes just going like this. I was just like, what is she talking about? Me? Cuss words? Does she even know what I'm praying for? Like, who is this lady? Like, is this God? I mean, did like the angel come down and write this to me? So when she sent this to me, I was like, talking about slapping the face. So I sat there and I was like, well, first of all, I was like, I'm going to tell you something. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. But when someone calls you out, your first reaction is to be defensive. Well, who she thinks she is? Messaging me. I mean, when someone says something to you, your first reaction is to be defensive and to take up for yourself. I feel like that is a normal reaction. When someone calls you out, your normal reaction is to go, seriously? You want to talk about me? And you call yourself the big C word Christian? And you want to come attack me and tell me I'm wrong? Like, seriously? Our normal reaction is to fight back. Stop. I tell you at the end of every video that you have choices. Sitting it out is attacking back. So when I got that message, my first reaction was like, seriously? Like, seriously? Like, seriously? That's sitting it out. That is sitting it out. The choice to dance is to pause. I almost felt creeped out by the message because I knew what I was praying for. And I had chills. Like I almost felt like I needed to put a jacket on. I had chills going up and down my spine. I almost felt scared. Like, who said that? You know what I mean? Like, where'd that come from? Is that person real? Is that person real? Or did God write this to me? I mean, does God can God, because this was on YouTube. This was not on Facebook. So I was like, can God like literally comment on my video? Like, what the heck? What what in the world? What in the world? I was like, okay, what am I going to do about this? So then I had to sit there and think, okay, let me break everything down. What do I say that, like, I just said, what the heck? And heck is short for HE double hockey sticks. And then I started thinking, I don't say friggin'. I don't say that word. So I was like, well, she's wrong on that. I don't say friggin'. I say freaking. Maybe the southern drawl sounds like friggin'. I was like, do I get a free pass for saying freaking? So then I phoned a friend and I said, let me send you this message. I don't really know what to think about it. Because sometimes you need to phone a friend to go, help me break this down. And my friend was like, I thought freaking was another word. I didn't know it was the slang word for the F bomb. That's what she told me. So then she Googled it. She's like, oh, Judy, you're in trouble. Judy, Google it. So then I go out here and my friend was like, let's see. She Googled what freaking meant. And it said, freaking is not a formal swear word. Let me try this again. Freaking is not a formal swear word, but it can be considered offensive depending on the context and the audience. It's often used as a milder substitute for the more vulgar word, F word. Oh my gosh, I am up here in front of children and I am saying freaking. So then it brought me to, do I need to quit saying jackleg? But I don't know what a jackleg is. I don't even know where the word jackleg came from. And so let's see. I meant to Google what a jackleg is, but one day we were talking about it, and I was like, does jackleg mean jack eight? Like, hang on. Let's see. Jackleg. Okay, I can say jackleg. Jackleg, well, I don't know. Jackleg means someone or something that is unskilled, untrained. So, but see, I love jacklegs. Like, I call everybody a jackleg, and it doesn't mean that I think they're untrained. But what if my 2-year-old grandson goes to daycare and starts calling people jacklegs? That's not good. Can you see my grandkid? Come here, you jackleg. You know what I'm saying? Where did he learn jackleg? Oh, his grandmother says it. She thinks it's cute to call people jackleg. And you know what I'm saying? And then, like, I'm laughing about it because I think it's funny that my grandkid's calling people jacklegs at the daycare. I'm sorry he got that from me. And I'm like doing, let's say, shorts of my grandkid calling people jacklegs. I mean, what if my grandkid called his dad a jackleg? Like, let's say that my son said, I don't know what my grandkid's name's going to be, but let's just say, Charlie, get here. You're clean your room. I ain't doing you jackleg. I'm not going in there. What? I don't know. Like, like if you think about it, it sort of is a cuss word, but I like that word. I it's one of my top vocabulary words is jackleg. So when I read the message and my friend told me it was a short term for the F bomb to say freaking, I'm like, oh no. Now I got to quit praying for Shane and pray for myself. Dear Heavenly Father, please put a bar of soap in my mouth. I just got convicted. I asked you to convict Shane. God, I asked you to convict Shane, not me. I wasn't wanting to be convicted. I was wanting you to convict Shane. And instead, you cold busted me out on social media, on YouTube. You cold busted me. It wasn't like it was a private message. You cold busted me in front of all the backup dancers. And I literally asked you to put the bar of soap in Shane's mouth. I don't say bad words. Whew. That was a lot. That was a lot to take in. So now what do? I'm in a habit of saying freaking. I'm in the habit of saying jackleg. I'm in the habit of saying heck. I don't know what other. I even say this. Let me think how I say it. Hang on. Like I'll say, instead of saying O-S-H-I-T, I say shiitake mushrooms. I say that all the time. I don't know if I've said it on here, but I'll say, oh, shiitake mushrooms. Are you kidding me? And I say, instead of saying shut the F up, I say shut the front door. Are you kidding me? Oh, yeah. Miss Girl that don't say cuss words. Shout do. Because I think it's funny. Can you see the grandkid? Can you see the grandkid in daycare or in church on Sunday morning in Sunday school? Shut the front door. Are you kidding me? Oh, shiitake mushrooms, you jackleg. Give me that freaking ball, kid. But I'm the perfect one. I'm the perfect one that doesn't say cuss words. I'm the perfect one. I don't need prayer. I don't need prayer because I'm going to be this grandmother that tells this grandkid not to say bad words. I'm the good role model. Miss Prim and Perfect that does prayer, that is Christian. You know, we'll have a prayer gathering and we'll pray for all the people that say cuss words because it's awful. Okay? We're going to have prayer for them. We're going to have prayer for them because these poor kids that are exposed to cuss words, it's awful. So we'll just, if your grandkids are exposed to cuss words, just go pray over the pillow and ask God to put a bar of soap in their mouth. Okay? And then you'll get cold busted. You'll get called out and you'll be cold busted. And sitting it out is retaliating against someone that says that to you. Who are you to tell me that I say friggin' all the time? I don't say friggin', because I don't. I say freaking. But sitting it out is wanting to retaliate against someone that's calling you out for something. Because when someone calls you out, it's embarrassing. So when I'm sitting here calling Shane out for saying a bad word or my son for saying a bad word, it's like retaliation to me. Well, who are you, Miss Perfect, with this think calling yourself a Christian, want to call me out on it? Dude, I don't say bad words in front of my grandkids. What are you talking about? I'm talking about God stuck about 15 bars of soap in my mouth with that message. Okay. Have you, have you ever done that? And I will tell you, have you ever, I don't know if you've been like me, where you've prayed for someone else to change, and then you found out you're the one that needs to change? I'm talking, that was like the biggest cold bust to me. So, in the beginning of this conversation, I talked about being in a habit. And when you've done the same thing your entire life, or you've always reacted in a certain way your entire life. Let's just say, like, when someone calls you out, you retaliate in anger, or I will never speak to you again, or you ain't gonna talk to me that way because I'm never speaking to you again till you walk up to my front door and apologize to me. If you retaliate the way you've always retaliated in, let's just say, anger, or shutting down, or to fire back at them, that is sitting it out. That is not being the best version of yourself. Going in silence to someone is not the best version of yourself. Going back in anger is not the best version of yourself. You might get cold busted like me. Because stop for just a minute. Let's say you retaliate with, I'm not speaking to you again. Let that happen to you. Let you tick someone off and then they quit speaking to you, and tell me how you feel. Or you retaliate in anger. Let somebody come at you in anger, and let's see how warm and fuzzy you feel inside. Or retaliate by praying. Okay, I'm just going to pray for them. They're sinners. He's such a sinner. He says the F word. He says the S word. He says the H word. I'm just going to pray for him. Just going to pray for him. God, he's awful. He's awful. I cannot believe he talks around his grandkids like this. I won't say anything to him, because I know if I talk to him, it won't do no good. The only person I can change is myself. So I'm going to Jesus, because he needs Jesus in his life, is what he needs. He needs a good spanking from the Lord Jesus Christ. That's what he needs. So my retaliation was not verbal. It wasn't withdrawing, not speaking. It was, I'm going to the Lord Jesus Christ, because there's nobody that can change that man but Jesus Christ. And he needs to put a big bar of soap slap in that boy's mouth. That's all I'm saying. So I did have anger. Shane just didn't know it. And I'm going to God in anger. Dear Lord, I know that you would not want those cuss words around my grandkid. I can't control what happens with his kids, but I sure can control what happens to my grandkids. Dear Jesus, put it. I mean, convict him to his knees. Make him realize that his mouth is just filth. And God responded. He did. He heard my prayer. He heard my prayer. He so heard my prayer. And he said, Hey, Judy, this is just a FYI about the cuss words. I've noticed that you're saying friggin' more and more. Please do not say that in front of the kids because they know what it means. It's the same as dropping the F-bomb. The kids will just giggle, but I'm sure their parents won't. Sorry, I thought you might need to know this. Love ya. And I just sat there in total silence. Do you see how important you are to me? You're not a number. Scouts honor that I will not cry. You're not a number to me. You're not. You guys often send me private messages. I get cards. I get letters. Aunt Judy, you're changing our lives. Aunt Judy, when your morning lives help me every day. Some days I sit there all alone on the couch and you help me so much. It's you that helps me. Like y'all are not seeing the big picture. It's you that helps me. I show up every Monday and Wednesday at 7 a.m. because you show up. If you didn't show up, I wouldn't show up because I wouldn't have Diane here going, Judy, I know it's just me, but you help me. Please go live. Please, Judy. Okay. I show up because y'all are here before I even get here. Y'all take the time to write me a letter. I'm not writing you a letter. You're writing me a letter. You're sending me cards. You're writing me messages. It's not like I sit here and go, I can't even see. It's not like I can sit here and go, Lisa, I saw your post and I don't think you should have wrote that. It ain't me doing that. Y'all show up here. I don't call you out. You know, it's you help me. You help me. You keep going. Oh, Judy, you help me be a better person. Are you kidding me? You help me be a better person. But see, that's what teamwork is all about. That is what a friendship is all about. It's not one-sided. It's not like I just spill all the beans and it's all me. I'm on stage. I'm in the glitter. I No, it don't work like that. Do you understand that I couldn't show up if you don't show up? It's not one-sided. One comment changes my life. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I get private messages and I blow my gasket because sometimes things just keep piling on. And I'm like, I cannot do anything right. I literally cannot do anything right. I keep getting all these negative Nancy messages. Sometimes I do that because I'm a human being. And I could have simply done that with this lady. I could have said, block. She want to call me and tell me I'm saying friggin'? No, I don't say friggin'. I say freaking. So block. I could have done that. But that would have been sitting it out. As a matter of fact, in my program that I'm doing next year for the libraries, uh, I've been practicing on my shorts, and it's the song, Everybody's Working for the Weekend. You know that song? I want you to go listen to it. It describes what it's like to be a creator. And it says, everyone's watching to see what you will do. Everyone, it's, but it also talks about giving second chances. And sometimes as a creator, we pop off when someone says something to us that's negative. We don't give second chances. We're like, block, block. And I don't want to be that creator. There are times when I get messages that they need to be blocked, but I always give someone a second chance because there's times when I need a second chance. There's times when, one time I went live and I was talking about the people that show up at 7 a.m. in the morning. And I made the people that have to work and watch the replays, I made them really mad because they did not feel important because they weren't here at 7 a.m. They were on the replay. I never want someone to feel like a number. I never. And I'm going to tell you something from a creator standpoint. This is something that you do not know. When I go live at 7 a.m., I have a choice. I can hit monetized or I cannot choose monetized. And what that means is when I'm live, y'all see commercials. I have control over that. So I do not hit monetized. So everyone that shows up at 7 a.m., I don't get paid for it. So you're not about $1. I do it because I care. It took me a minute to understand that I had control over that. Sometimes I would hit it and people go, Judy, I see commercials. I was like, how does that work? So then I realized that I had control of whether I get paid on my lives. I choose not to monetize it. But once it posts, it gets monetized. So the people that watch my replays help me with feed. The people that show up at 7 a.m., This watching me live, I don't get a dime. I don't. I don't care. That's not my goal. My goal is to be here at 7 a.m. for a safe place to come for you and I, for us to learn how to be the best versions of ourselves and to be here together and to share what's going on in our lives. That's what I care about. It's hard to put on mascara when you've cried. I cried all day yesterday. I cr- I went to y'all saw my reel. I went to the library yesterday in my local community, and the lady at the library had a clicker because there's a fire restriction to how many people can get in the library, and she was with the clicker, and they kept coming and coming and coming and coming, and I'm never nervous to perform ever. I don't get jitters. I don't get scared. I don't know. I'm just like, I don't get scared. I'm not the person that gets scared before they go on stage. I'm not. Never. Yesterday, I was a nervous wreck. They just kept coming. And I had performed in more than 250 people before. I went to Arab Library and there were so many people that we had to move to the gym. There was probably 500 plus people there. But yesterday, I began to get nervous. The news was there. News has been there before. I've been filmed before. I don't know why I was nervous, but I was so nervous yesterday. And I left there and I felt they made me feel as though I was like a celebrity. This lady came up to me and it was before it even started, and she said, "My daughter is a big YouTube fan of yours. She watches you religiously. Will you please come let me introduce you to her and let y'all take your picture together?" And I was like, this feels so weird. Like me. And I met her and she was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so weird that like you're not on my TV. You're like right in front of me." And I was thinking in my head, this particular girl is on all the Coleman stuff. Like, I have seen her picture more than she's seen my picture. Like, I have seen her picture everywhere. And I'm like, no, I feel like I'm meeting the celebrity. I'm not the celebrity. You're the celebrity. And she was so excited to meet me. And parents were wanting their kids to take pictures with me. And this little boy was like, his grandmother was so excited because I was related to them and I didn't know it. And the little boy was so excited that I was related to him and he was watching me perform. And I left there sobbing like a baby. I felt like it was as if I was in New York City on Broadway on stage, and these 250 people were coming to watch me perform. And people were wanting my autograph and take pictures with. It was like my dream was coming true of me living in New York and dancing on Broadway. And I left there and I cried from the time I left until the time I went to bed last night. It was so emotional that 250 people would want to come see me. I felt so humble. And I feel humble today still. And as I pray for where I'm supposed to be and with social media, I pray that I always stay humble. I don't pray for anything else. I'm happy where I am today. I pray that no matter what is thrown at me, that I always stay humble. Because this has nothing to do with me. I am this depressed girl that cries all the time. Okay? I struggle every single day. Don't put me on a pedestal. Don't brag about me. I'm a sinner. I struggle. I'm not perfect. I'm not this, when you see me, I'm not this great person. It's God that you're seeing in me. I promise you. If you set down my family, if you set down my ex-husbands, husbands with a S, if you set down my children, they would tell you that my life has totally changed. And I can't make this up. Y'all just picture for just a second. In 2010, I lost my job. I got fired from my job. I was the employee that was so depressed that I could not get up and go to work. I was the mom that was on an airplane flying to California to rehab. This same redheaded girl that was on stage in front of 250 people performing was on an airplane headed to California to rehab. I had to leave my children behind. This redheaded girl was the girl that was getting fired from jobs that could not show up to work. This girl was going to counseling 3 days a week for 2 solid years because I was so sick. It was not even funny. I was the redheaded girl that sat, my kids would go to school. I would sit in this chair all day long and wonder what my purpose in life was, and I did not want to live. I would pray that I would get in a car accident, and I was just, please do not let me stay on this earth any longer. That is who I was. So when you see me and I show up at 7 a.m., my normal reaction is not to show up every Monday and Wednesday at 7 a.m. or to be at the libraries in front of 250 people performing. I was very sick. So when you see me, the strength that I have is the healing that God gave me. I learned how to be the best version of Judy. You're seeing the best version of Judy, but it is a daily walk with me. It does not happen naturally. I want you to know that I can sit here and tell you the tools that I've put in my pocket to get to where I am today. I can talk till I'm blue in the face. But it's up to you to apply that to your life. If you're sitting at home and you're struggling with depression or an eating disorder or addiction or whatever you're struggling with that keeps you from being the best version of yourself, I can sit here and tell you what tools I put in my pocket, but we're all looking for a magic pill. I just want it to go away. I just want this depression to go away. I just want this addiction to go away. I just want it to all go away. I'm here to tell you there's no magic pill. It's something that you have to work at the rest of your life. But you have to hate it so bad that you're willing to do whatever it takes to get you better. If it's flying to California and leaving your children behind, it's flying to California and leaving your children behind. If it's quitting your job, I don't know, going on disability at work because you need a minute to recharge yourself, it is what it is. I cannot tell you how many times I had to go on short-term disability to get my crap straight. But I'm here to tell you that there is an answer. And the answer is showing up and making a choice. The choice is sitting it out and continuing to do what you do every single day. Or it's dancing. And sometimes dancing is being called out. And what you're praying for, you get slapped in the face with it because you need your own prayer. And that's what I call dancing. Thank you for joining me this morning. It was a very in-depth conversation. Know that I am going to try really hard to try to notice the things that I need to notice because I don't want to be a grandmother that says freaking or all those things because I don't want my grandkids saying that. So I'm going to worry about myself instead of worrying about other people because the only person at the end of the day that I can change is me. I'll see y'all next week. Love y'all. My video's coming out Thursday. I had a video drop yesterday. So thank you for supporting me and watching my stuff. See y'all later. Bye.